Hello there.
Oh, hello, Roly Mo.
Well, what a jingly hat.
I know, but we can't stop it jingling, and Florrie and Fimbo will hear us.
Shush.
You see, we're trying to hide, and the bells won't be quiet.
Oh, I do see. A jingly hat that won't be quiet. Well, I think I've got a story about something else that won't be quiet. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
Oh, yes, please.
Back in a Roly Mo. When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you will see? When you take a look inside a book, it's fun as fun can be. With cats and dogs and birds and frogs, a monkey who says boo. Wonderful things, giants and kings, and maybe a fimble or two. Now what have we here? When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you might see? A story or rhyme, just take the time to read along with me. Oh, here it is.
Pom, it's story time.
Story.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Then I'll begin. The story is called Molly's New Shoes. Molly had new shoes. They were brand new, shiny brown shoes, and Molly was wearing them for the first time. What do they feel like, Molly? Asked her dad. They feel a bit stiff, she said. Try walking in them, said Dad. So Molly did. Clump, clump, clump. The shoes were really noisy. Don't worry, Molly, said Dad. New shoes are like that sometimes. You'll get used to them. They went to the park for a walk. Clump, clump, clump. These shoes are really noisy, said Molly. In the park, they met Molly's friend, Mirinda, and her dad. The two dads sat on a bench talking. Come and feed the birds with me, said Mirinda. They showed Molly a big bag of breadcrumbs, and they went over to where some birds were hopping on the grass. Clump, clump, clump. Molly's shoes were so noisy, the birds twittered and flew away. Oh, you frightened them, Molly, said Mirinda. It wasn't me, it was my noisy shoes, said Molly. Let's try again, said Mirinda. Mirinda went up to the birds, who hadn't gone far away. She started throwing some breadcrumbs to them. Come on, Molly, she said. Clump, clump, clump. The birds flew away again. They didn't like Molly's new shoes. They were far too noisy. Said Mirinda. I've got an idea. Mirinda stood next to Molly with the breadcrumbs. Stay very still, Molly, said Mirinda. Don't move your shoes. She stood very, very still, and the birds came close enough to them to eat the breadcrumbs. You can help me now, said Mirinda. Help me throw the breadcrumbs. So Molly helped Mirinda throw breadcrumbs to the hungry birds, keeping her noisy new shoes very, very still. And that was the story of the two noisy shoes. Oh, hello there, Florrie.
Hello, Roly.
Why have you got a tambourine on your head?
It's my crown. I'm Queen Florrie.
Oh, I see. Where are the others?
They've gone away. We were playing a really good game. I was a queen and they were my helpers, but they wouldn't do what I said.
Oh, why is that then, do you think?
I don't know.
I know a story about a queen. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, yes, please, Roly.
Back in a Roly Mo. Books over here, books over there, books, books everywhere. When you take a look inside a book, it's fun as fun can be. Now what have we here? When you take a look inside a book, who knows knows what you might see? A story or rhyme, just take the time to read along with me. Are you still on your own, Florrie? Well, never mind. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. This story is called The Magic Words. Once upon a time, there were 2 queens who each lived in a huge palace. The palaces were so big that the queens needed lots of help with the cleaning, cooking, and gardening. Queen Bamboozler was very bossy and lazy. She spent all day sitting on her throne, ordering all her helpers about. "Sweep the stairs," she screamed. "Bring me my breakfast. Mow the lawn." The helpers didn't like being spoken to so rudely. They left the palace and found new jobs elsewhere. Soon the queen was on her own. The palace was dusty, the garden was full of weeds, and there wasn't one clean plate in the royal kitchen. "I can't stay in a dirty place like this," cried Queen Bamboozler. So she decided to visit her cousin Queen Sweetina, who lived on the hill next door. Queen Sweetina's palace was gleaming from top to bottom. The garden was full of beautiful flowers, and every evening a fantastic meal was put on the table. Queen Sweetina's helpers adored her. "How ever do you do it?" asked Queen Bamboozler. "Oh, I just say the magic words," replied Queen Sweetina. "Magic words? You mean like abracadabra?" cried Queen Bamboozler. "No, I mean like please and thank you." Queen Bamboozler was amazed. She realized that in all her years of being a queen, she'd never said please or thank you to anyone. No wonder all her helpers had gone away. She went straight back to her palace, determined never to be bossy again. And you'll be pleased to know that Queen Bamboozler said her first thank you to Queen Sweetina for giving her such useful advice.
I like Queen Sweetina best, didn't you?
Yes, Florrie, although Queen Bamboozler was fine once she knew how to say the magic words.
Please and thank you.
That's right.
And I know another magic word.
Oh, yes. And what's that then? Ah, and who does Queen Florrie need to say that magic word to?
Fimbo and Rocket and Pom. See you later, Roly.
Oh, hello. What are you all up to then?
Oh, we're going on a picnic, but we've got too many things to put in our suitcase.
Too many.
Oh, then you'll just have to leave some things behind.
Oh, yes, but what? How do we choose what to leave behind?
Ah, if it's choosing you're doing, you'll need one of Roly's rhymes. Back in a Roly Mo. Books over here, books over there, books, books everywhere. When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you will see? When you take a look inside a book, it's fun as fun can be. With cats and dogs and birds and frogs, a monkey who says boo. Wonderful things, giants and kings, and maybe a Fimble or two. Oh, now what have we here? When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you might see? A story or rhyme, just take the time to read along with me.
How can a rhyme help us choose, Roly?
Listen and you will find out.
I'm listening. Dory.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Good. Then let's begin. This story is called Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
Mo! Roly Mo!
One day, Squirrel was playing with 4 friendly rabbits. A red one, a blue one, an orange one, and a green one. When it was time for the rabbits to go home, they couldn't decide who should be the first to hop down the hill. So they asked Squirrel to help them. I know, said Squirrel. We'll play a choosing game. And this is how they played the choosing game. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is it yes or is it no? Which will stay and which will go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. The red one. Go on then, off you go, said Squirrel, and the red rabbit hopped down the hill. Let's go again, said Squirrel. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is it yes or is it no? Which will stay and which will go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Right, Blue Rabbit, you can follow your friend. And the Blue Rabbit hopped down the hill. 1, 2. Just 2 left now. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is it yes or is it no? Which will stay and which will go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Hop along home. And the orange rabbit hopped down the hill. And then there was only the green rabbit left to choose. So when the green rabbit had hopped down, all the rabbits waved to Squirrel from the bottom of the hill.
Can we hear the rhyme again, please, Roly?
Oh, very well. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is it yes or is it no? Which will stay and which will go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh, please, can I have a go at the rhyme, Roly?
Oh, very well, Florrie.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is it no or yes it is? Which will stay and which will go? Eeny, meeny, roly, mo.
Well, that's very good, Florrie. Very good indeed. Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello, Roly.
Oh, what's the matter? You all look a bit glum.
We've been looking for a box of tissues, Roly. Oh, have you seen it?
A box, eh? Oh, no, I haven't.
We've lost it.
Lost, eh? Oh, I always say, if something's lost, it's just waiting to be found. I think I've got a story about that. Back in a Roly Mo. When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you will see? When you take a look inside a book, it's fun as fun can be. With cats and dogs and birds and frogs, a monkey who says boo. Wonderful things, giants and kings, and maybe a Fimble or two. Oh, now what have we here? When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you might see? A story or rhyme, just take the time to read along with me. Ah, lovely.
Will this help us find our box of tissues, Roly?
It might. You never know with lost things.
Dory!
Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Then I'll begin. This story is called The Giant's Blanket. It was evening, and Giant was getting ready for bed. He put on his blue pyjamas, cleaned his teeth with his giant toothbrush, and read a bedtime story from his giant book. Then he snuggled down in his big warm bed to go to sleep. But something was missing. He hadn't got his special blanket to cuddle. Giant's blanket was soft and snuggly, and he never went to bed without it. I can't get to sleep without my blanket, he moaned. Where could he have left it? Giant got out of bed and started to search for his blanket. The first place he looked was under his bed. He found some money and a very old biscuit, but he didn't find his special blanket. Maybe I had it at breakfast, said Giant to himself. He went into the kitchen. He opened up all his cupboards and looked inside, but there was no special blanket. Giant scratched his head. He couldn't think where he'd left it. At last, he gave a big yawn. He wanted to snuggle down in his warm bed and go to sleep. He pulled back the covers to get in, and there was his hanky. What's that doing in my bed? Said Giant. It shouldn't be there. He went to put the hanky back in his trouser pocket, ready for the morning. But there was something already in the pocket. Do you know what it was? His special blanket. My hanky was in my bed, and my blanket was in my pocket, said Giant. Oh, what a mix-up. Giant snuggled down in his warm bed with his special blanket, and in no time at all, he was fast asleep and snoring.
So the giant's blanket wasn't really lost.
Not really. It was only waiting to be found.
Achoo! Oh, Pom, where did you get the tissue? Tissue. It's pink. We didn't have a pink one before. Tissue. More tissue.
I think Pom's found your box of tissues. She must have been sitting on it all the time.
Oh, well done, Pom.
There you all are. I've got a story about Spots.
Story.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Then I'll begin. This story is called Sunil the Stripy Tiger. One morning, Sunil the Stripy Tiger woke up. He'd been asleep all night under the pink tulip tree. Sunil stretched and yawned. I think I'll go and find my friends, he thought. He found the twins, Jip and Jamila, rolling around playing. Hello, said Sunil. Can I play too? Jip stared at Sunil. What happened to you? He asked. Sunil, said Jamila, you've got spots. Sunil looked down at himself. It was true. There were pink spots on his legs. He turned round and round, trying to look at himself. They're all over your fur, said Jip. All over, repeated Jamila. Go and look in the river. Sunil went down to the river and stared at his reflection in the water. It really was true. He wasn't a tiger with stripes anymore. He was a tiger with spots. How could it have happened? Sunil heard Jip and Jamila calling him to play, but he slunk away. He didn't feel like seeing anyone. Dark rain clouds were coming over, so he went home to find his mum. The rain started to fall, plop, 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 on poor Sunil. Wet and miserable, he crept under the tulip tree and curled up by his mother. What's the matter, Sunil? She asked. I've got spots instead of stripes, moaned Sunil. His mother laughed softly. Those aren't spots, Sunil. They're just leaves from the tulip tree, pink leaves. And look, the rain has been washing them all off. Sunil looked and saw all his pink spots lying on the grass. He snuggled up to his mother and soon fell fast asleep, a happy and stripy tiger.
So the tiger didn't have spots after all. No.
No, sometimes spots aren't always what they seem.